What's up, everyone? This is Mark and Tim bringing you a special TNA edition of Rants. And we're here to talk about the downfall of TNA. No, not the downfall. Almost downfall, though. Starting to lose some people, dude. What's going on with TNA?
Loki just left.
It's one person.
Magnus is about to leave. He just asked for his release. And so did James Storm.
3 people.
And I was surprised about James Storm because he's been at TNA since the beginning. So.
Yeah, he's been TNA since they started.
Yeah.
You know, him and Chris Harris. They were America's Most Wanted.
Yep.
One of my favorite tag teams back in the original TNA. They were so good together, and Storm really made himself, a really awesome singles competitor and really shines in the singles now.
Yeah, but before that, he was in a tag team with Bobby Roode, Beer Money, one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yeah, seriously. So they're losing all these people. How long, man? It's not looking good for TNA. And, what happens from here is really up in the air.
It's not like they're big names where it's going to hurt. But
I don't know.
James Storm, that's a big name.
Storm is the biggest one because he's been, kind of a main event guy and kind of one of the staples of the roster for the longest time. He's someone that TNA hitched right behind and rode out and say, here's one of our top guys, and probably made a hell of a lot of money off of him. So you're losing that. I mean, I'll fully straight up honest, I don't watch too much of TNA because I really don't like the product.
Yeah, I don't watch it either. The only reason I watched TNA from the beginning was for Smojo, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, all those guys, and the old X Division, they're all gone now.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. They've lost so many, solid people over the years. I think this company is just on the decline, and that's kind of sad to see because there was a time back in the early to mid 2000s where TNA really could have competed with WWE. They had some really great talent. They had some young, great talent on there. Great wrestling all around. I remember the old, what was it, once a week, Wednesday pay-per-views that they would have. You spend like $5-6 and you get like 2 or 3 hours of wrestling, and it was great wrestling. Back when AJ was young, and Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Jeff Hardy when he had his first run with TNA. They had some good stuff back then, but it's been kind of lacking, in my opinion. This last couple of years, I watched a little bit of it when the Hardys came back, and they had their, triple feud with the Wolves and the Dudleys, and they had those great matches like that.
Yeah, that's the only time it was actually really exciting. And then Sting was there, but then once Sting left, it was like, okay. And then the fact that Joe left, and I would have never thought Joe would have left, but if he saw the writing on the wall, to then show up on Ring of Honor, and then from Ring of Honor to NXT, that's what I'm kind of hoping happens with Austin Aries. I hope that your contract's up, I'm pretty sure Ring of Honor will want to pick you up. We'll be on the same network anyways, since it's not Destination America. So you'll be on the same network since TNA is supposed to be, only going up till September. Then Ring of Honor will just be on there full time.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a wrestler I think will probably find a home somewhere. Is Austin Aries. He has a very big following. He has built, kind of a relationship in the indies with different companies, and I think he'll be fine. It wouldn't surprise me if WWE at least takes a look at him, maybe gives him a tryout. He's a little undersized for them, but then again, look where we're at with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn and people and wrestlers like that. So it wouldn't be a surprise if they take a shot with him. I mean, he's very versatile, so he could play whatever role that they want for him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah, like the same thing goes with like the Wolves. Like the Wolves, they had a WWE tryout, like from Ring of Honor, and then they went from Ring of Honor to TNA, but they could go from TNA back to Ring of Honor, and it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's the main thing I see with these guys that we're talking about: Austin Aries, Magnus, James Storm, Low Key. They'll end up back in the Indies. And then maybe a couple of them, maybe WWE looks at. I can see Magnus being looked at by WWE because he has such like a look to him.
Yeah, him and Wade Barrett would be a great team.
Yeah, definitely. So I could see WWE looking into him, but really, I can say my guess is within the next couple of years, I don't know if there's a TNA anymore. I've even read articles and stuff, and again, you take what you read online, with a grain of salt, but...
Yeah, because isn't tonight supposed to be the 13th anniversary of TNA?
Yeah.
Slammiversary. And, they have their Hall of Fame, but they only put in, one person at a time.
Yeah.
They just brought back Jeff Jarrett for the King of the Mountain match, which most likely he'll win that for nostalgia purposes.
Right, yeah.
And then I was like, well, he should just buy out, TNA and just put Global Force Wrestling in their spot.
Yeah.
And then take all their talent.
Problem is, though, Dixie Carter is not one to sell off her stuff. She's stubborn as hell. Unless if this starts losing money, I don't think she sells. And I think she's stubborn as hell as an owner. Which, I give her some credit for that because at least she's trying to see her product through. But at the same time, if you're not paying people on time, which is supposedly happening again, that's some troubling stuff. If you're having trouble selling tickets and even your basic live events aren't selling out or filling up arenas and stuff, and you're losing talent left and right, that has to be, sign enough that something's going on, and you might want to consider your options. She would make a good amount of money if she sold it to someone, and then...
Yeah, she sold it to the McMahons. Then we can get that video library on the network, all the NWA TNA stuff, a lot of really, really old stuff, fresh after WCW closed, and then all the rest of the talent went there in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You get that library, oh man.
Yeah, it would be good for that, but at the same time, a WWE buyout would worry me because that's a lot of jobs lost. And that's the one thing that's really not talked about when it comes to companies going under, WCW and ECW. Yeah. That's jobs lost. So yeah. I would
feel bad for all the workers out there.
Yeah, I would rather see someone buy the company out and rebrand it and still keep the majority of the people. Yeah, like Jeff Jarrett buying it and using it for his Global Force Wrestling. Problem with that, though, is he's already putting money into his own company, and that's going to be expensive enough, I would imagine. So to go ahead and buy an additional company with all those people and all those, salaries and stuff, I think might be a little too much, because I'm sure he's starting out now, and I'm sure he's not making, that much with Global Force Wrestling. So maybe give it some time. Maybe in those couple of years it becomes a more formidable thing, and then he could make an offer like that. But right now, TNA needs to do something to kind of right the ship. They're losing people. I think when you start losing notable talent, the next best thing to do is to work with your younger talent and make them the faces of the company. They probably have some good young wrestlers there still that they can hitch to.
They pushed Kurt Angle so much, give him the title so many times. And got guys like Austin Aries, Eric Young, Bobby Roode, all these guys who are just the curtain jerkers. I'm come on, give these guys the title. How many times do you gotta put Angle over? They could have given the title to Rockstar Spud. It would have been something oh wow, this is different.
Yeah, and I know back when Eric Young was champion and he won it, that kind of spiked interest a little bit because it was different. It was something unexpected that they did.
Yeah.
So, pushing that younger talent might help them. Now, you can do that all you want, but if they're losing money, if they happen to be losing money and they can't really pay for stuff, then they're just doomed outright. Yeah. Because if you can't keep people signed on to your company and if you can't bring in newer people, then you're just kind of delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, because you'll look online and you'll see, such and such got re-signed. I'm like, really? They got re-signed, yet they're not even paying these people?
Yeah.
So I'd say go someplace else if they're going to treat you better.
Yeah, and that's probably what's ended up going to happen with some of these guys.
The fact that now people are asking for their release early, it's like, I'm surprised the Hardys are still there, but they probably still get a decent paycheck.
Yeah, I'm sure they get enough, and then they probably like the lax schedule compared to the WWE schedule, where TNA has a little bit more, time off, a little bit more freedom, so Jeff can do their stuff.
Now both Hardys have kids now.
Yeah, so
things would be a lot different. They probably can't do the WWE schedule anymore.
Or, if they tried to, obviously they wouldn't be with their family, and they're probably, since they've been with them for so long now, it'd probably be hard for them to leave.
Yes, they did part-time, like Jericho, RVD, and Lesnar.
Yeah.
Which maybe, being that they're in their 40s now, they might be able to get a little leniency in their deal.
Yeah.
That's if they want to come back. Sometimes, being on a light schedule, they like it that way.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for that.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. If this trend continues for the next year or so, then as wrestling fans, we gotta prepare ourselves to possibly see this company go under. And again, that's really sad to see because the history that they have and how they started, and even kind of in the mid 2000s, the 06, 07, 08 era of TNA. They could have really competed with WWE. If they had a big national deal, they had the money, I think they could have given WWE a run for the money.
There's so much wrestling now that these guys will find work.
Yeah.
Now that we got Lucha Underground and NXT and all that. I think the fact that they're running everything on Wednesdays now, they're all running them at the same time at 8 o'clock. Got Lucha, NXT, Ring of Honor, and then Impact all at the same time. It's like, how are you going to do this? The majority of people are going to be watching NXT because that's the new hottest thing going.
Right.
And then a lot of people will probably watch Ring of Honor who don't have the network, which is still great wrestling.
Right.
Because there's so many great people there.
Right.
And then you can probably figure out who's going to be going to NXT next. So.
Yeah. So let us know what your thoughts are on this TNA situation. You guys see any more releases? How long you give this company? Like I said, I don't give them any more than a couple of years at this rate, but you hope that things can turn around a little bit. Maybe they keep some big name people and they do something to shoot some, energy and some serious, cash into their company. So they can do better things, because honestly, wrestling is better when there's competition between companies. And although WWE's had some, really good storylines and a lot of good wrestlers and stuff like that, they're still pretty lax. And they don't need to take the risk like they used to back when they were WWF and they were competing with WCW. So
if Impact Wrestling is going to be leaving soon, at least give it a decent send-off, Give us some good great matches from these guys, and then, let the chips fall. But kind of just like what they did in WCW when they had that one last big match. And then whoever has the title leaves with the title.
Yeah.
So just retire it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens, but, let us know what you guys think.
We'll try to do more Impact Wrestling videos if it's newsworthy and worthy to talk about. but most of the time it's not. The only reason I watch is for the Hardys, and that's about it. Mark's probably at the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he doesn't even get that channel, so not a lot of people get Destination America.
That's another thing too. Going from the channel they were on before, Spike TV, to a channel that not a lot of people get. That should have been the first red flag for people. Like, something's going on here, because who's getting these channels? Like, I know it's part of some packages.
Yeah, because I have Dish, so I get it. So, but every other channel, people probably don't get it on Time Warner or anything.
Yeah, or they might not even know the channel's there.
Or they do get it, but they want you to pay extra.
Yeah, so. Alright guys, you know what to do. Subscribe if you want. If you like our videos, leave a thumbs up, comment it up, look for our Facebook, Twitter page. Are you on anything else? I'm not on the social media stuff, so.
I have an Instagram that's connected, I guess.
Okay, cool. So, Ring Rants, all that stuff up, man. Alright, we'll catch you in our future videos. Take care.